All right, I'm back. Look who I brought, Zilby again. So I was upstairs, and as soon as I walked upstairs, Zilby was just hanging out, waiting for me. Ran over to where we normally put his food bowl upstairs, and we have a button, and he pressed the button to ask for food. He still has food down here. I think he forgot that I didn't have food, that I moved the food down here. So I'm gonna give that to him. Oh, you have a typo on your about page. Welcome to Brooks Builds. Were we? Okay, yeah, that's a good typo. We can fix that. Also here, Zilby, eat your food. Okay, so welcome to Brooks Builds. We are constantly striving. Not here. Oh, is it the Twitch about page? Or Twitch, like the channel? Oh, the Twitch channel. Okay, I can fix that. Yeah, okay, where is that? That's under settings. Okay, welcome to Brooks Builds. Here. Oh, I was thinking I was going where we are. Yeah, okay. Saved. That should be updated now. Thank you for that, Custard. We had 2 cats, but when they passed, we didn't get more. Now we have a garden full of birds instead. That I don't let Zilby outside what is it called? I forget the word for it. Unsupervised. That's what it is. I never let Zilby out unsupervised, and so he has never eaten anything more than a bug or 2 outside, which he now knows. He's learned that when he gets his trips outside, he knows that we don't like him having the bugs. So what he tries to do is he tries to wait until we're not looking. Then he grabs the bug in his mouth and then bolts for inside, and to go run and hide somewhere inside the house where he can then play with the bug, which is horrible. Because then I get to find bug parts all over the house, which is not cool. So I do my best to like try to prevent him from like mutilating any bugs. Yours rarely killed anything except our sofas. They do tend to do that. Although if I keep Zilby's claws trimmed down so they're not super sharp, he doesn't really scratch on the sofa. He likes his normal scratching posts instead for that. He has a game he likes to play. Instead of like the normal scratching, he likes to lay on his side and then pull himself along the floor like this, along the bed, along the couch, along like anything that he can get his claws on. And he loves that. They used to walk past the post and use the sofa instead. Oh, that's hilarious. In that sort of like cat type way, right? Okay, delete the cores that are available. I can do this in a database. So I don't have a delete button because I only have create. I've not implemented delete. So if I want to delete these just on our own, I want to delete these two, right? So now I have articles for this too, which I would want to delete as well. Although I don't want to delete the articles themselves. I want to delete just the course articles. So we need to go find that. Also used to sit on top of doors and fall on your head when you entered a room. That sounds hilarious. Mostly, but probably mostly because I've not had that happen to me. A couple times, Zilby has asked for help to get to the top of a door. And he doesn't like to hang out there very much. Like it's like wobbly for him because, you know, and he doesn't feel it's very secure. And so he very often wants to jump down and he's scared about the jump. So he wants us to be there to jump on like on our shoulder to get back down again. So he's not very good at, he's can jump to that height. Like I'm very sure he could jump up there, but he tends not to have confidence in his jumping skill if it's like over 6-7 feet. But I've seen him do it when he really wants to. Okay, so I'm going to start. Okay, so it's not article content. I want that. Not a course tag. I'm not going to start with the courses. Course articles. Okay, so we have to figure out which course this is. So and let's go ahead and we'll do that here. Okay, so delete this where the course ID is equal to Drago. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? And also, my volume is way down. I couldn't hear that. But how did you stream today? What were you working on? Then the courses too. Oh, and then if anybody owns this course, which nobody does, but I should just clean up that too. So user courses as well. And Twisted Seed, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, this should delete all of them together. So if I do this, okay, so no user course were deleted, but one LMS course and one article was in there. And so if we come back to Yew and I hit refresh, now we only have that one course. So that's good. So I'm going to take this query, put over here in production Hasura, and we are going to okay, now I need to know the other ideas. Okay, so you're gone. And then this one is the other one. Okay, so now if we come here, hit refresh, those two are gone. We have no live courses planned yet. So I kind of want to remove the live courses section. But when I get around to it, I might, yeah, I'm gonna add in an issue. Probably in here. So don't display live courses section if there aren't any live courses. Which I wonder, we should just do now. Let's just do this. So actually this then does get converted to an issue in the LMS. Yeah, the website is coming together. It's nice. Zilby, I heard you meowing upstairs. What's up? Are you lonely? Want to come up here? All right, we're in a cat stream now. Hey. Hey, Zilby. Okay, that's much nicer. Time to take a break. I know. I took a break not very long ago. But all right. Well, Zilby wants to be the start of the show now. All right. Well, I lose an arm to hold Zilby, so this will be interesting. Okay, so we have two courses, and how much development can I do with one hand? So that section I believe is gonna be on that page. So, oh, the efficiency is going more than 50% down. Okay, so I want pages. It's not home, it's courses. Okay, so I want this card list, but only if live courses has something in it. So we need to do an if statement for this, I think. It's also super hard to concentrate when you have a cat in your arms, and he's slow blinking at you. JH, hello. Wouldn't be a cat stream without the mandatory look at my butt. I know, exactly. It's too bad he's not a super loud purr, so I can't. It's like really hard for me to like show you, like put him up to the microphone. Otherwise, I would totally do that. Okay, so I want this card list to be in here. Are you okay? You want to be in this arm now? Are you done? Okay, we're back to full capacity again. Okay, so I want to do if because I do the card list no matter what, so it's just an if statement, right? So if live courses so if that's greater than 0, then I want to return and we're going to throw you in here. Else, we're going to just do an HTML of nothing. And I think that'll work just fine. And so if I have no live courses, now I only have featured courses here. So perfect. No errors. Okay, so Zilby went out of the room too. He's basically like, hey, I want a hug. He comes up, gets his hug, and then is like, okay, I'm done. Peace out. See ya. I'm gonna go watch TV. Let's see. We should figure out, I think at one point in time I had tried to figure out something we can do for fun while we're waiting for these things to happen. There's some, I don't have any of the games working right now. Oh no, Clippy didn't work. What did I do? Oh, okay, there it is. Oh, is empty. Okay, so I want to use is empty instead of dot length is greater than 0. Okay. I think it's is empty like that, right? The big negative about yew is in the HTML macro, I don't really get good auto completion for anything. It's not great. Okay, so we run yew. Let's try this again. All right, hopefully this should work. We can get that deployed, verify that that's working, and then we'll mark that card as complete. And another ticket done. And I guess now we get that awkward stare for like a couple minutes. You're staring back? Okay. We'll just awkwardly stare at each other. Is that what you all do with your teams? Just awkwardly stare. Usually when GitHub release. Yeah. Usually when I'm on Teams and let's see, removed. Okay, now that I got that, I can do this. Okay, so yeah, usually whenever I'm like on a team and we're waiting for these type of things to work, that's the time when we're just sort of chatting about each other's lives, asking how things are going. Maybe we watch some like funny videos on YouTube. Good, that's, you know, time to go take the break. Things like that. You know, used GitHub. Yeah, the GitHub CLI is really nice. I really like it a lot. You practiced soldering yesterday. First time in about 30 years. I have, yeah, I want to say it's been a good 30 years or so since I've ever soldered. And I've never really done it. I've never really done like any real soldering. I think I did like some soldering for very like helping my dad do some basic soldering stuff a long time ago. Oh, you started an Arduino project. Nice. Yeah, I did. I've never graduated to soldering with IoT projects with like actual devices. I just like stuck everything in a breadboard and just like taped the breadboard to like the back of the thing because it was just a prototype. The breadboard connections cause you so much pain. Yeah, I can see that. Like there was a lot of times where it was like, okay, it disconnected because I bumped it a little bit. It's like, oops. Okay, you couldn't figure out if it wasn't working or the connection was deaf. Yeah, that's a problem. Applying 30-year-old knowledge had you scratching your head a lot. Yeah. I can definitely see that's where it's like, okay, let's pull out the soldering. Sanbika, hello. How are you doing today? You have a question, you're new to programming, and you would like to be able to make websites, apps, and various games. What language should you start with, Python or C#? If it's between those two, I mean, it's which one do you want to start with? I guess maybe I can ask you some like follow-up questions. Do you want to also go for getting a job? Like, is it more than you just want to make some like websites? Is there other stuff you want to do? Like, okay, you said various games. Is it games on web games, or are you talking about like Unity games? Like the Unity game engine? You'd like to get a job and get, okay, yeah. So if you want to program in Unity, then C# is the way to go, because Unity, C# is the language. With Unreal, C++ is the language. And I wouldn't recommend that you start with C++ unless you have like a mentor who can walk you through a lot of things, or you're taking classes. It's pretty rough to go straight into C++ as like a first language without some kind of support system. And like, I wouldn't count like YouTube videos as like a support system. Those are just like your learning references. Scratch style programming. I've never done anything in Unreal. I've done a little tiny bit in Unity in the past, and then not much, like nothing in Unreal. I think maybe I installed it one time on one computer and that was it. But I don't think I actually like ever opened it up. It's very interesting. I'm very old school in my programming. Visual languages break my brain. Like, they're very hard for me to understand what's going on, but I think that's mostly because I'm so used to like text, like actually just word-based languages. But anyways, Sambeka, does that help? I would start with that, and then also, if you want, before you even jump into Unity, you can if you did Python, for example, there's a framework called Pygame, which you could then use to make games with. And there's plenty, like there's tons in the ecosystem to help you go with. And Python has like so much in the ways of getting started, like tutorials, getting easy to use frameworks, hard to use frameworks, but you can do even more with. There's tons of stuff that you can do with that. So if it was between those two, would you be able to land a job with C++? Yes, but I always try to like put any kind of like asterisk next to that, right? Because you can get a job with any of like the skills. The real like question that you have to answer is going to be, are there any companies in your area that need programmers with those skills? Because if you learn C++, let's say, and then all the companies nearby you, they want Python developers, then no, you're not gonna be able to get a job. But if it's the other way around and you learn Python and they all want C++, then that's also like, it's gonna be a lot tougher to get a job. They're gonna want people who are, especially if you're new to programming, who like at least know the stack a little bit. Python is very popular for learners and is a good language for getting work. It gets used in some very serious places. Very true. Python is really big in the systems administration space too. Lots of scripting for automation of tasks, and not a terrible place to sort of like get into it. A lot of DevOps tools too, which is sort of a developer adjacent type things. Danny, hello. How are you doing today? You're having trouble with implementing Tailwind in the dev of a Yew web app in a way that isn't slow or forces constant slow rebuilds. Yeah, I I hear you. What I ended up doing with a basic Tailwind, so I didn't use it for real. So keep all this with a grain of salt. With the Tailwind sort of like basic hello world, like can I get an integrated system that I did, was just using Tailwind its own CLI to like build into like the CSS and then letting Trunk take it from there. But yeah, it's gonna be slow rebuilds because that's you. Like the problem is that's not Tailwind anymore. That's just you being slow, which is an unfortunate. Are you working with data engineers, scientists, and it's massive there? Oh yeah, it's huge. So Python is absolutely huge in a data science world and the AI world too. Although we'll see, like within the next 5 years, that may or may not change. We'll see. Doing that too, but it's still giga slow. Yeah, I know. It's super slow. It's the problem with the Rust ecosystem, right? Like the Rust compiler, they made so many improvements to make Rust faster, but that doesn't mean that they've made it like fast enough. Like especially if you compare it to like any of the JavaScript rebuild tools. Those are insanely fast. Wait, Python does automation? Yeah, so Python is huge in automation. You can pretty much automate anything you want with Python. And there's tons of YouTube videos of people automating all sorts of stuff in Python all over the house. And it's a scripting language, which means that it just runs. You don't have to pre-compile it, although you could. So therefore, it's fast to write, test, get going, and then usually scripting type stuff, it's small. So you just let it go. And there's, if you get like a Raspberry Pi, you could write Python, put that in a Raspberry Pi, and have it do things for you. So there's a lot of like automation type tasks that people do with Python. Is that other chat window Discord? No, this chat window up here is YouTube. So I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch right now. So YouTube and Twitch. I do have Discord up on my left window, but nobody ever says hi on there to me during stream. So I don't have to play around with it. The irony of every JS front end being done with Rust in terms of frameworks. I know, isn't it? It's like super fast because they built the compilers with Rust, but then the Rust, like the writing with Rust is slow because compiled with Rust. Ansible uses Python. True, yeah. So the DevOps community is heavy on Python too, like really heavy on Python. JavaScript doesn't have integers, swings, and roundabouts. What are you talking about? JavaScript has numbers. Numbers can be integers, right? I mean, sure, they can be everything, right? Let's see. Lloyd, hello. How are you doing? Thanks again for the raid yesterday. Oh, awesome. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. And how is the Lambda functions? Were you able to get it working? Have I found anything similar to Storybook with React, Rust, and Yew? No, I wish I had. I looked for it. I couldn't find one. I wish I could find one. That would be so amazing. But I could see that it would be so much harder to do because of the type system. Ooh, you're okay. If you make it, share it with me. I will use that. That's a necessary thing. Let's see. MicroPython is awesome for embedded. Yeah, there's so much Python in embedded, which is so surprising because a lot of people like complain about Python being slow, but Python, like if embedded it works, then just go for it, right? If Python does automation, then I'm sold on the language. What are some good learning resources? Right now I'm using this book I bought on my Kindle for 99 cents. Let's see. What's a good learning resource for Python? Back when I first learned Python, I learned it with two things. First, I tried, I took a course. I took a course from a local university, and learned it that way. And then immediately after that, I went through, or before that I had tried and failed, and then I went through it again later. Learn Python the hard way. Does it still exist? Newly updated for Python 3. Yeah, when was this? Wait. Does this cost money now? It was free when I took it. Oh, it was free. I guess it's not free anymore. It looks like it's $30 now. Anyways, I did this, like, I don't know, back when it was Python 2 still. So anyways, heads up, I don't know if it's good anymore, but that is a website that I had looked at in the past a long time ago. So that might be a good one. Also, oh no, Twisted Seed. Learnpython.org. I mean, this probably is pretty good. I mean, this has a bunch of stuff in it. This all looks perfectly fine. See here, let me share this one down too. Okay, let's see. I missed a bunch of stuff. So, oh yeah, Custard, the 1.00001. Yeah. Fun. The fun fact of having W3C floats as your number type and the only number type. You did some scaffolding and a deployment with Sam, but you haven't written much business logic yet, which is going to be good content for the next stream. Nice. Let's see. Oh, so okay, so search for Cosmic Python. Great book you can read for free. And it's about learning DDD best practices with Python. That stands for domain-driven design, which is, I'm a big fan of domain-driven design. You generally, for like any sites that are like teaching you this type of stuff, you don't ever need to read the book domain-driven design. In fact, like all the people that I know who have read the book basically say it's one of the driest books they've ever read. And about like the source of where all this stuff came from. You like cargo lambda? Yeah, I did. We did a lambda function in cargo and Rust experiment before, and what we ended up doing, we didn't use like anything. We did it completely raw on our own. We created our own runtime and then deployed that out, and it was actually really interesting and fun to do. You create a Yeoman template that includes building lambdas in Rust with Terraform. Oh, interesting. Also, Skimmus, hello. How are you doing today? I mean, just the official documentation tutorial is good enough to get started. That's how you learned Python back in 2015. I can't remember. I have a bunch of links that are blacklisted. No, sorry. Every link is blacklisted. I have a bunch of links that are whitelisted, and so if it's a domain to one of those, it'll be fine. However, I don't block any links in Discord, so if you want to share it there, you can do that. Otherwise, share it here, and then I will see it be blocked, and then I can check it out and put it in there. Or you could just put it into YouTube. That works too. What? Is that your username? What? How would I pronounce an emoji? Like, hello winky face. How are you doing today? You're trying your best to you're trying my best. It's so hard. I've only been programming in Rust for a year. Have actually used your videos and streams for some of the Rust stuff. Nice. I'm glad that it's helpful. And Nikolax, hello. How are you doing today? Yeah, so go ahead and let me... Here's what I can try. Let me try this. I will temporarily disable link disabling. All right, go ahead and share the link now. And it should be fine. And if we get bad links again, I will turn it back on quickly. Cosmic Python. Yeah, that's what you're mentioning. Here, and I can... Oh, come on, don't select everything. Oh, okay, cool. that's where it goes. So anyways, this is for there. Okay, and at Amazon, I don't think I'm logged into Amazon, right? Of course. No. I'm not gonna type that in. But I will copy you. Amazon link should be fine. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I haven't ever looked at any of these type of books before. But I mean, most of them should be fine, right? Like the worst case example is that it doesn't work at all and you have to just try another resource. All right, so we deployed, our system deployed, and that was live courses. So if I hit refresh, that was going to make live courses go away. Wasn't that the entire point of my deployment? It was. Is that the same one? I think so. Yeah. All right. So apparently I completely failed with that. So that's cool. What I had wanted to do was in the course. No, it wasn't even that one. It was just in the LMS, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. So we had if live courses is empty. So wait, are you not empty? Were you not empty? Oh, no, reference. Nope, reference. Okay. You're like that. Except you're two of them. There we go. Okay. Oh, JSCast can't be done for everything there. That makes sense. Okay, so stop it. Go away. We can console log the length of this. That works. Okay. So if we come back to here, I should, okay, there's our length. Length is 0. Now, I'm really kind of surprised that this didn't work. Do I have something else like for a title for live courses? Because, okay, yeah, we have card data live courses. Then the courses. Live courses. Live courses. Oh, I reversed the friggin' logic. I want to do this. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Okay, silly me. Okay, no warnings. Now I have to do the deploy again. So, okay, commit, this is actually removing live courses, title. Okay, so now we get to do that entire thing again. More time to chat with all of you. Is you 0.21.0 broken for everyone? I have not updated this to 0.21 yet, so I don't know. I did try 0.21 in a different app where I did a Twitter X clone, and it seemed to be fine for me, but I didn't really do anything super advanced. So I don't think so. At least so it wasn't broken for me in that app, but I haven't updated it here yet. Okay, let's see what I missed. All right, so we got the book. After doing lambdas in Python for the past few years, compiling them into Rust was a dream. I can imagine that. Like having the strong type system, that's always really nice. Wait, I need to do a new. All right, now we get to watch this again. Okay, in Python, you can deploy a program that's broken. Rust, not so much. Yeah, it's for those of you who don't really know how Python works, when we say that it's a scripting language, what we're really trying to say is that it runs like it runs when we tell it to run. So basically you'd say like, hey, Python, name the script, and it starts running line by line from top to bottom. So if you have an error or like some kind of bug that's like really far down, it will get all the lines down until it hits that one, and then it crashes. In Rust, if you have some kind of like simple error or other problem that would be caught by the compiler, then it's going to catch that when you try to compile it, not when you try to run it. So one of the reasons why Rust takes so much longer to compile is because it tests for all those things ahead of time. A lot of other compile languages does the same thing. Rust tends to check a little bit more things than the other languages. Hence also why they're so much slower than many other compilers. Oh yeah, I totally agree with that, but there's a bit of learning curve with Rust, especially with async, and that could be frustrating at times. Oh yeah, definitely. I fully agree with that. At this point in time, I've just sort of agreed to just go along with the Tokyo ecosystem because it's just, they've made it really easy to get into and do. You don't have to like worry about anything. It just works. And there can be an argument about like whether or not that's good for the ecosystem to like have just like sort of one major library or framework that everybody's using for async await, but it works. Rust compiler messages can be painful, especially when they reference generics. Yeah, the compiler messages are really good until you get to more advanced stuff, and then they're doing their best is probably the best way to put it. When you release something, it works like a charm 99% of the times, which totally justifies all the pain. Yeah, at that point, all we have is logic errors, right? It's like, ooh, I totally forgot to tell it to do that thing, and it totally worked just fine. It moves the pain up front. Yes. Hello, Stacking. How are you doing today? In Python, I had to have an incredibly strong test coverage to achieve what Rust does by hitting compile. I agree with that. I was chatting with one of my friends and mentors, and we got into a conversation about test coverage and what testing we need to do now. And my argument is that I feel the need to do less testing in a strongly typed language like Rust, and like maybe a little bit more testing in a typed language like TypeScript, and then a heck of a lot more testing in JavaScript. And he agreed. He used to be like big on like test everything, the heck out of everything, but now it's like, okay, let's use all of the type systems features and let the compiler catch all those errors. If it doesn't compile, that is a test, right? Like that is part of the testing essentially. So instead of just redoing exactly the same thing that the compiler is doing, why bother? What amazes me about Rust is not the memory type safety though. What they've done and achieved with their enums is just amazing. I do like the enums in Rust. They are really nice. It did take a little bit of time for me to internalize and sort of like understand exactly what was going on. But once you get there, it's so good. No more exceptions or no reference errors thanks to enums. I mean, now we can have you unwrapped on this code. And it's like, wait, did I? I don't remember if I unwrapped or panicked. Okay, let me go check that. Yes, I love enums to the point that I try to re-implement them in TypeScript. A disaster. I did that too. Oh no, I didn't try to re-implement enums. I try to re-implement options in TypeScript on my own without using any libraries to do it. And that was interesting. And I showed it to my team lead at the time when I had done it. And now he was big into functional programming. So he was super into it. He's like, this is amazing. This is awesome. I love it. But it was like, okay, you have to like instantiate this class and use this thing and all these methods on it. It was doing all these checkings. It was like, yeah, nobody else wanted to use it. The thing that I can't untrain myself from is polymorphism. You can still use some polymorph type things. Unless I'm mixing up polymorphism with one of the other ones, which I constantly forget the names of the 4 pillars of OO. Polymorphism is updating and changing the implementation, or no, it's adding like new functions after you inherit. It's not an inheritance itself. It's something with inheritance, right? Dang, you never use GitHub to create releases just because I thought it wouldn't auto-generate the description. Oh yeah, it allows you to like make all those choices. It's really awesome. I like it a lot. But again, enums help out there. Yeah. Because a compiler doesn't catch logic errors. Yeah, that's true. Compiler, like, it is funny to like deploy something. What's actually the number one thing I keep on seeing people talk about with Rust is, oh, it protects us from memory leaks. And it's like, that's the only memory thing that it doesn't protect you from, because a memory leak is going to be a runtime problem. And it's like, it's your choice. Like, you can choose to have a memory leak. Maybe it's something that you want to have. Like, maybe you need to keep a hold of that memory for some reason. And it won't stop you from that. It just assumes that you know what you're doing. Okay, polymorphism is referencing a subclass by a superclass. Okay, yeah, so that would be part of the inheritance where you're then referencing going to super to like get up, right? To get to the parent and run its stuff instead. No, it's the other way around. It's running, it's assuming that the child will have something new and like running that. And yeah, I can see that getting a little bit weird. I'm working on a short from a video a while back in January, stream we did in January, and I had said that, and I still believe this is true. Rust is very similar to, it's close. It's like a functional adjacent, but it doesn't feel like functional adjacent. It kind of feels like, oh, ad break just started. I didn't even see that going because I didn't have my my Twitch dashboard up. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, so in Rust we end up doing a lot of functional adjacent programming, but it doesn't feel functional. That's actually one of the magical things that I think Rust has given the programming world, is tricking developers into being more functional without realizing that they're being functional. And in fact, in some cases, it feels like you're just doing object-oriented programming without inheritance. And kind of like, if you do that, but then you also add in enums, you also add in iterators, you add in all other things, you're kind of now like decently towards functional programming. Isn't there an explicit way to leak memory? Yes, there is. And with that leak, yeah. You found that the longer you're doing OO, the shallower my inheritance trees were. Yeah, it's funny how dangerous those things can get. There we go. It is now gone. We are finally done with this feature. So having structs and traits suits you just fine. Yeah, I mean, I think once we get used to it, it feels really powerful. And it's to the point where when I'm in object-oriented languages, I sometimes forget to even do inheritance, even when it would be something that like makes things so much simpler.